Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you an Arcane Vanguard build for the Judgment Vanguard in Baldur's Gate 3. This is an incredible mod made by Saethos and it's now available on console, so go check it out. We're going to be going through and showing off all the spell selection, going over the gear options and combat in this video. So we got some pretty great options actually for spells and cantrips. So the Arcane Vanguard itself gets spell selection, but then each subclass gets its own spell selection, which I think is incredible. So for cantrips, Frostbite, if you got Mistress spells, is incredible, given disadvantage on attack rolls. Bone Chill could also be pretty good too, to be able to stop target from receiving healing, and Lightning Lure to pull the target towards you. And also, we do get some cool spells like Green Flame Blade with the Judgment Vanguard. So go download Mistress spells as well with this. And as for the spell slot selection that I think works best for this, Command is pretty much one that you always want to have because this is just extremely useful. Frost Fingers gives 2d8 cold damage, and then we also got Thunder Waves for pushing back some targets and knocking them off ledges. So 3 great spells there. For our fighting style, there's a few good options. So we do get medium and heavy armor proficiency, so read the enemy is not the best choice here. Increasing movement speed by 6 meters is really nice though, because you're going to want to get in close and hit the enemy. But also Empower Arcana here is extremely useful. So I really do like this one. Whenever you deal damage with a weapon attack, you gain Arcane Acuity for 2 turns. This happens every turn, so you'll continue to stack this up and up and up. What this does, Arcane Acuity gives you a +2 to your spell saves, DC, and spell attack rolls, so you're much more likely to land your spells when using this. It's up to you whether 6 meters movement speed or that is more impactful for you. They're both great options, and yeah, it's hard to choose between those two. Ranged spell attacks can also be made as melee attacks. There's gloves that will give this off, so you can go with that. Also, there is a Helmet of Arcane Acuity, which will give you this as well, so you don't have to go with that. The Helmet of Arcane Acuity can be easily stacked if you use this with the arrow many targets, because that can just give you a +10 in no time at all. Critical Momentum, which is cool. Whenever you make a critical hit with a weapon attack, it reduces the threshold for hitting a critical hit with your spells by 1. So you can upcast some pretty powerful spells that way that do attack rolls and land a critical hit. Exposed Cuts will give you extra damage. When you damage a melee creature, it gives your spells and cantrips extra damage. And Echo and Malice, whenever you make a ranged attack, the next time you do a cantrip, it does additional force damage. But we're going with the extra mobility because that's always a useful thing. With the Judgment Vanguard, we do get Sacred Flame, Thorn Whip, and also the Green Flame Blade, which does additional fire damage as a cantrip attack. So this becomes really useful, and I'll show you that later on. For our spells, always want to take shield. Being able to increase your armor class by 5 is huge, and then also taking no damage from magic missile, extremely useful. Absorb elements is also nice too, so take half damage from the next elemental attack that you take, deal an additional 1d6 of that elemental type with your next attack. We also already get that effect pretty much, so I'll show you that in a second here, but that can be nice to reduce the spell attacks that spell damage that you'll be taking too. Hail of Thorns or Ensnaring Strike can be okay. This does use your bonus action, just be mindful these will suck up your bonus action. Entangle can be kind of nice too, just creating difficult terrain, slowing creatures down. Ice Knife, this can be cast while you're silenced, so I mean if you want to spell that's kind of immune to being silenced, that can be good. So the Infuse Elements, when dealing a damage type with a spell or cantrip, that spell damage infuses your weapon, so you deal an additional 1d8 of that after your next weapon attack, so that becomes really strong. For ability scores, I think it's best to either go into strength or dexterity here. Dexterity is going to increase armor, or give us increased initiative, and we can use a finesse weapon like Falar Eluve, which is an incredible weapon, so we can go that route here, or if you want to go strength, you can take 16 strength. So your choice there, 14 constitution, 10 wisdom, 10 charisma, and we're going to take persuasion for our skill proficiencies. So that was a lot to cover there, but I'll go through the spell list here that we're going to be taking. And at level 2, we get our Vanguard Stratagem, so a user intelligence modifier for weapon attacks and damage rolls. So that makes dexterity less important than intelligence, which we want to have high. Armor of Agathis can also be a really nice spell because we can actually replenish our spell slots with the Vanguard Recovery. There's other good options here, which I'll cover a bit later on, and then we get to choose another spell. So Absorb Elements, I guess, would be an okay one to choose if you got Mistress spells. At level 3, we get our class feature, so at Persuasion checks, get a bonus equal to intelligence modifier. We get a subclass feature where we gain arcane charges whenever you're damaged by an enemy. What's cool about arcane charges is they actually are very powerful. So arcane charge will deal +2 damage with spells whenever the target is threatened. The in-game tooltip actually says when you're threatened, but it's when the target's threatened, you'll deal additional 2 damage. If we had magic missile, this would go crazy on this build. But yeah, it's pretty nice. So things like Volley of arrows will actually get benefited by that, so that's pretty cool. We also got Phenolic Snowball Storm, which is my choice for the spell here, but Mirror Image is also really great too. And we do get Scorching Ray, so this is where the extra damage could come into effect, so we'll take Scorching Ray for that effect as well. Misty Step being another really great spell, bonus action teleport. Hard to go wrong with that, so yeah, that's probably our next choice here, but we're going to go with our Mirror Image for +9 to our armor class, extremely useful. And Misty Step, also we get to Agonizer, Scorcher, and Dragon Breath, which are two really great spells, but it's hard to go wrong with a Misty Step. And obviously Intelligence Improvement is huge here, so that's what we'll use our ability score improvement on. At level 5 we get the ability to cast cantrips as a bonus action instead of an action. It's quite nice. And then we get to choose another level spell with Haste, Counterspell being two of the top ones. I also really like Tidal Wave. You can do some crazy shenanigans with that, but we'll take Haste. It's hard to go wrong with Haste. And then for our next leveled spell, we got Lightning Arrow, Fireball, Conjure Barrage, Elemental Weapon, Spirit Shroud, or even Spirit Guardians. I love Spirit Guardians for concentration, but Haste is just a little bit better. Lightning Arrow can be good for just hitting multiple targets, but Fireball, it's hard to go wrong with a good Fireball, you know? It's really hard to go wrong with that. So at level 6, we got our follow-up, so +3 bonus to attack rolls when attacking after casting a spell. Then we can choose another cantrip, so go with your personal preference here. Mage Hand can be nice. You can use this to throw water bottles and set up some of your other attacks. Then we also got our choice of spells here, and Tidal Wave. This is huge. This creates a huge water surface, and then we can drop like a Frost Fingers and create ice surface, control the battlefield, and it'll take over the enemy, so that's huge. We also get to choose another spell here. So Spirit Guardians is nice. Lightning Arrow is pretty good too. Flame Arrow is good to set up your team with, but this does require concentration, so we'll go with Lightning Arrow because, again, we got Tidal Wave, Lightning Arrow, nice combo for double damage. Vanguard Technique. After the warden casts a spell or cantrip that can make a weapon action as a bonus action, or weapon attack as a bonus action. It's quite nice. Then we get our choice of level 4 spells, so things like Wall of Fire. Even Greater Invisibility is nice, but this does give, if you're wearing heavy armor, you may have disadvantage on your stealth checks, so Counterspell, good choice to go with. And we get some good spells here, so Storm Sphere, summon a sphere of electrical energy. On this will do lightning damage at each turn, which is pretty nice. You can also go with Ice Storm to create an ice surface. Web of Fire to create fire, which is pretty good. Can deal upwards of 72 fire damage, which is quite nice. Agonizer Scorcher is also pretty good, so we're going to take that. But don't be afraid to take Spirit Guardians, because that's a really good spell. Arcanist's Life Tether will give you healing whenever the enemies end its turn within 3 meters of your team, which is pretty useful for survivability. And then for our level 8 spells, we get, again, we got a lot of choices here. So personal preference, if you want like Blinding or Branding Smite, go with that. Tash's Caustic Brew, like you got great options here for other things that you could go with if you want. You don't have to take any, there's nothing like that you exactly need to take here, so it's your own personal preference. Viriolic Sphere can be also pretty good acid damage. If there's targets that resist other damage types, you can use that. And then for our next level spell, I do really like Spirit Guardians, because you can have movement speed, but you're probably going to have a cleric that will be able to use this as well on the team. And Spirit Guardians and Haste are two great concentrations to buff yourself, but Haste wins by double actions and the ability to increase your armor class and movement speed. So we'll go with either an Ice Storm or a Storm Sphere, your personal preference there. I just really like cold damage for controlling the battlefield. Take your intelligence up to 20. Cold damage can be extremely useful, but we get our special attacks here. So whenever we have Arcane Charge, you can make a Vicious Rebuttal to make a melee weapon attack against all creatures in a line in front of you. So boom. And then we also got the Break the Line range, so you can make a melee weapon attack against all creatures within the line in front of you. It says the same tooltip, but this is a ranged one, which I'll show off in the combat section. Then we get to choose level 5 spells, Hold Monster being an extremely useful one. This is super useful. Highly recommend taking that. And then we also get things like Holy Weapon, so imbue a weapon with holy power to deal additional 2 to 16 radiant damage, overcomes resistance and immunity to non-magical damage, emits bright light. Bonus action, concentration, that's kind of nice, but not required. We also got Immolation, so point at targets that emit light, dealing 8 to 48 fire damage and immolating them each turn. So we got good fire damage. We also got Cone of Cold, which is huge, and Destructive Wave. So personal preference again. Flame Strike's okay, deals 5d6 fire and radiant, but Destructive Wave is probably the better choice here because you can knock creatures prone that are close to you, and you're going to want to get in close. So Cone of Cold's nice because it hits in a huge range. And again, we got Tidal Wave. If you're hasted, you can Tidal Wave, Cone of Cold, and you're probably taking out everyone on that turn. And if not, there's ice on the ground, so they're going to slip and probably lose their concentration or lose their turn. At level 10, we get the liberated spellcaster. When you kill a creature, you can cast level 1 spell without expending a spell slot. It's really nice. More spells, the merrier. And then we get another choice of spell here. So you can go with anything. Be mindful you got a lot of concentration, so going with a non-concentration based spell could be a nice choice of just something a little bit different. So I'll take just Caustic Brew. There's no real die-hard choice that we need to make there. And then Destructive Wave, super useful to have, so we'll take that. But Immolation's also quite nice to have for fire damage. But level 11 gets a class feature, Tactical Strikes. Whenever you attack with a weapon, add your intelligence modifier. Those get us choice of spells here. And we do got level 6 spells, so Wall of Ice, extremely useful. We'll next turn take Globe of Invulnerability. And then we get to Elemental Investiture, so embody yourself with the elemental of your choice, gain immunity, resistances, and other elemental abilities. This can be pretty cool to take. Odaluk's Freezing Sphere is also really nice. Disintegrate's okay, and Chain Lightning. Hard to go wrong with a Chain Lightning, I'll be honest with you. So we're going to take that because that could completely end the enemy. At level 12, we get to choose some more spells here. So Globe of Invulnerability, extremely useful, can be a game winner for you. Odaluk's Freezing Sphere, again, quite nice to have. And then you could also go with Immolation if you wanted to. And for our feat, Alert for +5 to Initiative, or take your ability score improvement up. But we already got everything we need with attack rolls being based on intelligence, so Alert is a good choice. You could also go with Great Weapon Master if you want to take a two-handed weapon. Now, I'm using Falar Aluve because it does have the Falar Aluve. It does have the Melody and the Shriek, which will deal additional thunder damage and give wisdom and saving throws and 1d4 penalty and charisma saving throws. This is great for your hold persons. This will land them a lot more frequently, so that can be really good. And also things like Command, which is a wisdom save. So we got a lot of spells, you can see. We got many options. Yeah, in terms of combat gear, I'm just wearing this for the aesthetic purpose, but armor persistence is really good, so you could go that route. Helldusk armor is also probably the best heavy armor in the game other than the armor persistence, so if you didn't go a good route, you can go with that armor. Armor of agility with the dexterity that we have is also pretty good, so you could go that route. Even ballast armor to be able to apply piercing damage vulnerability is nice, but we do get the benefits of wearing heavy armor, so it's nice to have that too. Now for other parts of gear, we got the Mask of Soul Perception for increased attack rolls. However, Hood of the Weave is also nice for the increased spell save DC and spell attack rolls. Cloak of Protection for increased armor class with Evasive Shoes and Ring of Protection. Killer Sweetheart for that nice, sweet critical hit. Amulet of Greater Health, more Constitution, the barrier. Helldusk Gloves for +1 to spell attack roll, spell save DC. This is nice too because it also gives us extra fire damage on our attacks. Armor persistence, which I mentioned, and I also like to have Viconia's Walking Fortress here. This will give us a 26 armor class. With Falar Aluve here being our sword, you can go with whatever weapon you like. It's completely up to you, your choice, but I think that this one works pretty well for us. So in terms of combat, I'll show us what that looks like. So I pre-casted haste on myself. Anytime that you know you're getting into a combat encounter, it's best to get hasted because then you can just run like really far. You see we got like all the way up to there. We can run literally right to them, so extremely useful for just being able to set up in terms of combat. But yeah, we want to get attacks, we get our arcane charges so we can power up our Scorching Ray, but we also got a good variety of cantrips, so we can literally just get right up in front of them and go with like a Green Flame Blade. So this will deal a little bit extra fire damage. That took them out, so that was not what I was expecting, but we'll take the little victory there. And we'll just end our turn right here. We can also give ourselves the mirror image, which I didn't do previously, but increase our armor class by 9 so that we have a solid 37 AC. And then we also got an ability to cast another action. So yeah, there's a lot you could do with this. We'll just end our turn. So they're going to go ahead and make their way towards us. So our turn is now up here, so we can make our way out of the darkness. Go after the caster of that. They're not together. I used in a previous video the tidal wave combination, but we can literally just go in there. We got this as a bonus action, so we can go ahead with this attack. We broke their concentration. That's what we wanted. And then we got our break the line melee attack. So this hits in a huge area, so we'll just show this off. Bonk, and that took her out. So perfect. And then we also got ourselves the burn another enemy, spread the Green Flame Blade, so we can just run our way out there. It disappeared. Nice. Lost that condition. And what we can do is we can, I don't know if I have enough movement speed, but we can go ahead with command is actually extremely useful because it doesn't require concentration and it'll just take them out of combat. We got command grovel off, perfect. So with that, we'll just let them come to us. And what's cool is we do got the option to put like down like a wall of ice. Well, I don't know why he jumped there, but a good way to set up combat would be use like tidal wave on this area and then use a wall of ice and just command them to keep walking or groveling in it. But we also got ourselves thunder, a destructive wave here. We're fighting the Sharon, so don't use that version of it. But bonk, we'll hit him with that. That took him out, knocked him prone for a nice easy. We just go with a normal weapon attack here, but yeah, that's really strong. And that didn't take him out, so we'll hit him with a so we got like even the ability to use a spell, so we'll just hit him with ice knife there. Why not? That'll take him out and froze him. Now we got ice there. I didn't slip on it, but it's nice to also use the near boots here so that you don't slip on ice if you're going to go that route. I'll show you what I mean in terms of combat. So we're going to lose our haste in a second, but the near boots are nice for just, yeah, disintegrating Nightwalkers, preventing that. So I'll go set up in front of the enemies there and show another combat guide off. So we got a free haste too, so we don't even have to worry. It's just a bonus action, doesn't require you to use it with your spell slots. So this is a little trick here because we got the awesome tidal wave attack. We're just going to drop this down right here, create a huge pool of water, and then with this we also got the ability to take them out. We can use chain lightning, or if we just want to make it a little bit easier, cone of cold, which will likely take all three of these out and create a difficult surface. It took them all out, yeah, except for that one. It's got 1 health left. That one's got 1 health left. Weird. But now we got ice surface here, so whenever the spellcasters come after us, they're likely just going to slip around. So we can also, I guess those are already taken out. We can use this to pull them closer to us. Bonk. And that took them out. Nice. All right, that's what we wanted. So we'll let them use their arrow attacks against us, and they'll show off another turn in combat. But the beauty of doing this is having ice surfaces everywhere is crowd control, because some of the other subclasses have different effects that they can use. But being able to control the battlefield with difficult terrain is extremely useful, because spellcasters, whenever they use any concentration-based spells, you can break their concentration just by having them slip. So that's huge. So I'll show off again another great combination. We can just go with our good old-fashioned, actually I might make my way back this way, and then go with a good old-fashioned tidal wave to chain lightning combo. So bonk, that took out a few of them. Actually took out more than I thought it was going to take out. Jeez. So we can hit them with the chain lightning, and we also got our free cast. So we'll go chain lightning, 80% chance, please hit. Boom. And hit for 100 and then hit them. So yeah, that was pretty good. And then we also got our break the line ranged attacks. We can use that for a range and hit them, critical hit with extra damage. That took them out. So we're down to just 2 enemies. Wow, this build is pretty overpowered. That is the usefulness of having ice surfaces, because you can literally control the battlefield. If they're trying to run towards us, they're slipping. Oh, we got some more friends here joining us, so we'll move this way and go ahead with our favorite combination. Being able to set up water with one of your actions and then abusing that with another is extremely useful. We could also go with the cone of cold again. That's I guess we'll upcast that to level 6. Probably not the best choice. Chain lightning being pretty good too, but cone of cold, 8d8 of cold damage versus a 10d8. Both of them are probably going to take out the enemies because they're all getting lower on health anyways. So to be able to set up the difficult terrain again, we'll just pop that bad boy down, and that took them out. So we'll just go ahead there, and I guess I got another spell I could use, so we'll go with our bone chill. I got the boots on, so I'm immune to getting knocked prone. We took them out. Wow. And then we have a necrotic infusement on our weapons, so that knocked them prone. See, that's the beauty of having ice terrain set up, is you can just completely waste people. So I have a mod that brings these people back from the dead, so that's why you see them keep coming back after me. But we also have Frostfingers to set this up, and Sinolic's Snowball Storm, so there's many different ways we can go about doing this. So I'll go with a green flame blade to knock them out again. Oh, they took it out. Crap. And then that created another water surface, so we'll just go ahead again with making ice. And then we got ourselves command for any type of, so when situations like this happen, I won't be able to, so we can upcast this to level 2, and I guess we'll have to move inwards. So command is nice for being able to, if you have enemies sticking around, you can 90% chance, 99% chance, command grovel them. Even with difficulty mods, we're still destroying the competition here, so they lost their turns, and it's just our turn again with our double action, so we can go with a silly little Scorching Ray to deal a little bit extra damage here, and hopefully take both of them out. Boom. That's how it's done, folks. How to solo the game as an Arcane Vanguard. Extremely powerful build, lots of great spells. You got options though, you don't even have to play it like I did there. It's still really fun to play around with, so just want to showcase this. Shout out to Saethos for making this incredible mod. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button below if you have not already, and I'll see you all in the next video.